People say that they know you, but I prefer to say, I don't know anything about you. Because that is a fact. He is saying with great realization. So knowing God is not actually a very ordinary topic. We are getting to know God only by the mercy of God. That is mentioned. You cannot capture understanding of God by using your brain, your intelligence, your philosophy, your capacity to discriminate, your capacity for that, this. All these things will not give you understanding of God at all. God is not somebody who can be captured by material capacity. How can it be? God is a person who can only be understood if God desires so. See? That is a wonderful shloka that is mentioned in the Vedic literature also. Tasyaiva atma vivrunute tanam swam. That if Krishna, Swayam, wants you to understand, only you can understand. This is very important to know. But the general feeling of people is, I will capture the understanding. Where is it? I want to read it. I want to understand it. I want to know about it. Yes, you can. To some extent you can know. To some extent knowledge can help you to understand absolute truth. But it will not help you to understand God in full. For that you need the blessings of God. So Krishna is telling here, avajananti mam mudha, is using this word. Mudha means ass. Mudha means fool. You must just remember that Krishna is speaking to Arjuna on the battlefield. And he is saying he is a fool. He is using this word. We normally say, oh, he is a foolish fellow. He is a mutal. In Tamil they will say. Because they are not using his brain. And Krishna is actually using this word. Avajananti ma mudha. Manushim tanumashritam. I am just looking like a human being, but I am not like you. Tanu means body. Ashritam means having accepted. I have accepted this human-like looking body. Don't think I am one of you. Muda, you fool. Param bhavam ajananto. You don't know my supreme nature. You don't know my supreme nature. So learn first. Submissively, humbly approach a person who knows it, Guru. And understand. Let me see how much you are dedicated, sincere to understanding. Then I will give you the understanding. If you have the real desire. Right? Tesham evanu kampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nasayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhashvata. Jnana deepena bhashvata. I shall light the light of knowledge in your heart. By my mercy you will come to know. Tesham evanu anukampa. Then only you will understand. So we are very dependent on Krishna's mercy, on the pure devotee's mercy, to understand who God is. God is not simply something that you can just learn from the books alone. You can have knowledge, you can have information, but to actually consciously understand and come to the reality, it requires the special mercy of the Supreme Lord. So, when Krishna is revealing himself to Arjuna, is making it very clear in the beginning of the 9th chapter. I am giving you this rahasyam hi etat uttamam. Why? Bhakto sime sakacheti. You are my bhakta, you are my devotee, and you are my very close friend. Therefore I am giving you this rahasya. You must understand that although we may read the Bhagavad Gita, we may read the 9th chapter, we must not think that, oh, you spoke to Arjuna, now I also know it. What's the difference between me and Arjuna? I have received it, Arjuna has received it. But Arjuna has directly got the mercy of the Lord, and because of that he is going to understand what Krishna is telling him. And if you read the Bhagavad Gita thinking in a challenging way, so what? I also got the same information. I have hacked. I have done a cyber hacking process and I have actually been able to take away this knowledge. No, it doesn't happen because Krishna reveals it from within the heart. He has got the key for the understanding. You may read this black and white paper and you may understand it in one particular way, and that may not be the understanding. You have to get the understanding, evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu. The way Krishna said, this will be understood like this. So there is a software lock on it. There is actually super soft spiritual lock on it. It's a devotional lock with a special password. And Krishna gives it to you, and only then you can unlock it. And what is being spoken here is not simply about understanding God, one person alone. Is here what is being spoken about is understanding the truth, the reality. What is the meaning of all these things? What is the meaning of me existing here like this? What am I doing here? How I am conscious of what I am doing? What is happening? All this truth, answers to all these questions, can be understood from the Bhagavad Gita. All answers. So, in many instances, I am just coming today for this program. I have come directly, getting down from the car and coming inside here. We came from Guruvayur, Trichur. And yesterday we had a release of the Malayalam edition of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, released in a very grand function. And many devotees from around the world, very senior disciples of Prabhupada, they joined online. And hall was full and overflowing. And we offered the Chaitanya Charitamrita to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And many of the senior devotees were mentioning how important it is to understand Lord Chaitanya's contribution in understanding who Krishna is, who God is. A simple way and a very powerful methodology has been instituted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And to understand that, we also need the mercy of the Lord. There is an instance in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a very, very learned scholar, very highly respected, meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time. He's a very well educated person, very cultured, highly respected. But he has a different understanding of God. He doesn't have the real understanding. He has an impersonal understanding of who the absolute truth could be, not as a person. So he sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu running and coming to see Lord Jagannath for taking darshan. He runs inside and then he sees Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra in Puri, the famous Puri temple, and seeing the Lord, he falls down fainting in ecstasy. Very beautiful looking body he has got. Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavatatau. Very beautiful looking, long limbs and golden colored and looking very ecstatically beautiful. So he was fully down. He was just wearing a small covering below his waist. And looking at him, everybody became awed. Oh, what a beautiful looking person. And he was lying down like that, almost lost consciousness. Nobody comes to the temple like that. So eagerly want to see Jagannath. We have not seen anybody come like that. We have seen many people not wanting to fall down to pay obeisances because my shirt will get spoiled. My pant will get spoiled. So some of them pay obeisances like this and do something something and all, they do like this and they leave. Excuse me, my lord, I cannot fall down because it will get dirty. I'm going to conference, I'm going to meeting, please excuse me. At least that much is very good. Right? But nobody sees anybody coming all the way where I want to see Jagannath, the Lord of my heart. And then as soon as he sees him, becomes so happy that he fell down unconscious. So therefore it was something very odd and very different. Everybody else is watching, what is wrong with this person? And the pujaris and the pandas, they said, get up. They said, get up. Time for an offering, get out. And the pandas are going to beat him with a stick and tell him, out. If you go to Puri, you'll know how they'll treat you sometimes. If you've gone to Puri for darshan, then you'll know how you're treated. You'll just be pushed like that. Huge crowds of people coming. Naturally, it'll be like that. So he went and fell down there. And you can imagine the beautiful form of the Lord. So Bhattacharya was carefully watching this. And he was not thinking like everybody else. He thinking how odd this is, this person. Only two reasons it could be. Either he's faking it, he's a fake, trying to attract attention, or he must really be somebody super duper, which I have read about. Right? And he looks very highly sophisticated. So he's not an ordinary person. So when the pandas were ready to beat him and he said, stop. If he says, everybody will stop because he's a very respectable person. I said, don't touch him. And then he went and put a cotton small wad near his nose. He actually did experimenting on him. He did the research quickly, put a cotton wad near his nose, and he saw there's a slight movement. So he thought this person is somebody very experiencing something very wonderful. And he told him, bring him to my house. He won't bring him to my house. So all of them carried Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house on the backside. And once in the house, he was observing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was very amazed and he liked suddenly very much, getting attracted. And he's a person who thinks God has no form, there is nothing like that and all that. But that same God with full form has come to his house. He does not know that. He's thinking, I will do research on him. I've got knowledge about this. He's treating very differently. He's in a different plane. And Lord Chaitanya's followers and all will come, all the key followers, and they'll come and dance and chant, and here in his ears they will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When he hears the kirtan, Lord Chaitanya will wake up. And he'll say, where am I? What happened? And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is very carefully watching. So he does not know. He must have been unconscious. So he does not know. Right? So he says that, this is what happened and I brought you here. And then Lord Chaitanya immediately tells him, I am so grateful to you. You are like my father. You have protected and saved me. Because that is exactly what Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wants to hear. He wants to hear that I am great, I am a scholar, and I have actually done some interesting seva for you. And because I am very aged, he is very senior by age, and Lord Chaitanya is just like 24, 25 years old boy. He's just come to. So he immediately expressed that type of feeling to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. I am a very young person, and I am a young sannyasi. You are a very elderly grahastha, very cultured, very knowledgeable, very famous pandit. So correctly he spoke to him. You have looked after me, I thank you very much. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya felt very nice. This man is also very endearing. He is not very proud. Right? Proud people, when somebody is humble, they are completely oblivious of what's going on here. They are very busy in their own world. So Lord Chaitanya pitched himself like that. And then Sarvabhauma liked it. Because proud people like people who are very humble towards them. Very good. This is the correct behavior. I will give you anything you want. You recognize me and my position as something greater than you, then he exactly got that. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God. He is sitting inside Sarvabhauma heart also as Paramatma. He knows fully what he is thinking. So, there was a nice discussion. And he said, I'll take my bath and come. And Sarvabhauma said, please take your bath and come, and I want to give you prasadam. You're a sannyasi, you come to a brahmana's house, it is my duty to do the needful, please allow me to feed you. So he said, I'll take bath and come. So he took his bath, and he came back, and there was feeding, and there was discussion. And Lord Chaitanya maintained that you are my savior, you are protecting me, you are like my father, you are everything to me, like that he kept saying. And Sarvabhauma was feeling very good. So I can do many things to you. Then his brother-in-law, Gopinath Acharya, he knows very well that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, because he is a great devotee. So he and Sarvabhauma will always have arguments. He is a devotee, personalism and speak. He knows that God is a person, and you can love him, you can relate with him. But Sarvabhauma thinks all this is unnecessary, And what happens is that Gopinath Acharya and Sarvabhauma excuse me, you want to do something about a special visitor to the Sunday program who regularly comes here? Mr. Cat. You can put him in a sack and take him to his own program. So, Gopinath Acharya told Sarvabhauma, why are you, because he's a relative, why do you think that you know everything? Do you know that the supreme absolute truth described in the Vedas that you think you're very great Pandit about is sitting in your house? Do you know? Then he said, oh, come on, please. How do you know that? He asked. I know it because it is mentioned in the Vedas like that. It's mentioned in the scripture like that. But how do you know that this is that person? He asked. How do you know this is that person? Then he said, I know it because I've got special mercy. That's why I know it. Oh, he said. So you have special mercy, you know, and I don't have that mercy, so therefore I don't know. He argued. So there was like this argument. In that argument, what came out is that Gopinath Acharya is telling Sarvabhauma Acharya, you don't understand that the supreme absolute truth is sitting here because it requires mercy of the Lord to understand Lord. And I have it and I can see. He is Krishna. You are not able to get it, so you are not able to see. So he said, oh, that is wonderful statement, I have to think about it. He was still arguing mode. And then what happened is, he was on the side getting very attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What a nice person, very well behaved, nice cultured, Jagannath Mishra's son. I know his father, I know Sachimada's father, and this is, all the connections now you make out. So he sort of knew him, and then he was very nice. Then he told Gopinath Acharya, actually this person's name should not be Chaitanya. If he has taken sannyas, he should have Bharati, Puri, like that name. And he's saying Chaitanya means sannyasi's brahmachari assistant is called Chaitanya. Why is he's taken sannyas and why is he keeping Chaitanya name? So you do one thing, you tell him, I can do a special homa yajna function and give him the title Puri Bharati, Tell him I can do it. So Gopinath Acharya became very angry. So you think that, because I have already told you Supreme Lord and you are telling me I will give him title. Because that is what he is. Got very angry and he said, you know whom you are speaking about. I told you, this is just a process, this is just a procedure. And then Gopinath Acharya got very angry and said, see, that is the difference between you and me. You are not able to understand. And he said, no, I am not able to understand and you are able to understand. I am able to understand. Why? He asked, why you are able to understand, I am not able to understand? He said, because I have got special mercy of the Lord on me. I can see He is the Lord. Then this argument went on. And later, Lord Chaitanya was approached by Sarvabhauma Acharya. He said, actually, you are very young, you are dancing and chanting, you should learn Vedanta Sutra. I will teach you Vedanta Sutra. See, Grahastha Pandit teaching the sannyasi Vedanta Sutra. And Lord Chaitanya said, yes, you are like my father, my guru. I will learn from you. So he took him and told him every day. For 7 days, he gave him tuition. It's a very interesting way. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. But here Sarvabhauma Acharya is speaking to Krishna. I'll teach you what is Vedanta Sutra. Vedaischa sarver ahameva vedyah vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Vedaischa sarver ahameva vedyah. By reading all the Vedas, you should come to know me. Aham eva vedyah. Vedanta krit, I am the writer of the Vedas. Vedavid, I am the knower of the Vedas. Vedanta krit vedavid eva cha aham. I am the only one who knows writing and everything because I only wrote it and there's a purpose behind it. What is the purpose? Veda is sarver hameva vedyah. Veda is composed for you to understand me, Krishna, absolute truth. And this person, the absolute truth, is sitting there and Sarvabhauma Acharya is teaching Vedanta Sutra to him. You must understand what is going on. It's all completely reversed. And he's teaching. And then for 7 days, he is simply listening. How patient you must be. God and His patience. Very patiently he heard. At the end of 7 days, Sarvabhauma said, what are you simply sitting and just watching me? You don't ask any question. You don't tell me whether you have understood or not. How am I come to know that I am not wasting my time? So, at that time, because you asked me to open my mouth, Lord Chaitanya first opened his mouth and said, Vedanta Sutra I know, but I don't know this explanation that you have given, that I don't know. Very smoothly he told. Then you can imagine after 7 days of taking pains to teach you, at the end very smoothly, he is a very nice looking person. You must imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very sweet looking and very soft in how he speaks and his behavior, everything. And his looking also very beautiful. So Sarvabhauma Acharya is already very attracted to this very well behaved Brahmana sannyasi who's come to my house. And therefore he is offering personal tuition I am giving you, Baba. You are getting from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. The world's greatest scholar is giving you personal tuition. He is teaching God, Vedanta Sutra, personal tuition. It's not an ordinary thing. So that's what he is thinking. But the person who is on the receiving end, he is not a person new to Vedanta Sutra. He doesn't need tuition. So he heard. And he said, Vedanta Sutra I know. Means fill in the blanks is, I only wrote it. So definitely I know it. Vedanta Sutra I know, but I don't know this explanation that you're giving. Then immediately he said, what do you mean? You mean to say you know? And you tell me what you know. Then started the conversation. Then the Vedanta Sutra says this. The Vedanta Sutra is meant for this. And here, tuck. Everything that he spoke, which was wrong, everything he corrected. This is the correct understanding. This very smoothly started coming out. And Lord Chaitanya showed himself This is the meaning of this is the meaning of it. Everything wrong thing he said is refuted. And Sarvabhauma, it's a complex thing going on inside him. One thing is, I'm very proud. How dare you insult me? How dare after 7 days you tell my commentary what I'm speaking, you don't understand. What do you mean? Whole world understands. Everybody I teach, I'm such a famous teacher. And you are telling me, and you are speaking, and your speaking is, I'm understanding very nicely now. What Vedanta, that is also happening, plus my false ego also is. So many things were happening inside him and he was just getting angry and did not know how to control it. But the more he heard, the more he became attracted to this person. Oh! And then it clicked in him at one moment. You must be that same Narayana. You must be that same original absolute truth. Otherwise, how can you speak like this to me? You must be that same person. Because nobody else has ever done this to me. Has never been able to do this to me. Speak the Vedanta Sutra to me. So you must be that original Supreme Godhead. And then as soon as he thought like that in his mind, and he became ready, he offered obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Lord Chaitanya showed him his form as Krishna, Rama, Lord Ramachandra, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shadbhujja Gauranga Mahaprabhu, 6-handed, 2 hands holding kamandalu and this thing, like a sannyasi, and the other hand holding arrow and bow, Ramachandra, the other hand Shankha Chakra, and all these things showing that he's Krishna. And he had this beautiful form inside his house. Then in his mind it occurred, Gopinath Acharya is correct. Now I've got the mercy of him, I'm able to understand that this is God. This is that person. And he became so happy after that. All his false feelings and pride and everything went away. And then he was so happy. So, the next day morning, Lord Chaitanya left. He went to the temple and everything. Morning he went to the temple. Next day morning, Lord Chaitanya came back to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. Early in the morning, he had not yet got up. He's still sleeping. Yesterday night, very late, all this thing happened. So, he knocked the door and said, Sarvabhauma, Sarvabhauma, I have brought for you Jagannath Mahaprasadam. The Lord personally brought for Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. See how he entered the life of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. It was very beautiful because he had decided to give mercy to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And Sarvabhauma opened the door and he saw the Lord. Immediately he paid obeisance. He just got out of bed and opened the door and paid his obeisances, namaskaram, shashtanga pranamam. And then he took the prasadam from the Lord, immediately opened it and ate it. You know, he didn't brush his teeth, he just got out of the bed and he ate the prasadam. And Lord Chaitanya became very pleased. And then he quoted shloka from the Padma Purana. Whenever prasadam comes in front of you, is as good as the Supreme Lord himself. Immediately you must honor it in whatever state you are, does not matter. Because prasadam is Krishna. He said this and he ate it. And Lord Chaitanya was very pleased. And then he started dancing in front of Lord Chaitanya, chanting Krishna's names. Lord Chaitanya also danced with him. And then both of them got on top of his cot and started dancing. No, Ajujo, Suddham, no, very dirty, early morning, did not brush your teeth, nothing. Nothing. Both of them were dancing. So in this way, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya completely changed. And then every time Lord Chaitanya was going and dancing in the street, he also joined. And this old man was nearly 80 years old. He was dancing, leaping into the air. And the other people were watching, what happened to this person? He was a very decent man, cultured man. And he's dancing on the street. My gosh. Everybody, all his followers said, what happened to him? Then somebody said, he has met the madman called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He also became mad. If anyone contacts this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will make you mad. He will make you mad with the love of God. He will make you mad with Harinama Sankirtan. You will forget everything else and you will enjoy bliss. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it is not easy to understand God unless God Himself wants you to understand Him. And if God Himself wants you to understand Him, nobody can stand in between. Nobody can stand in between. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was such a stubborn scholar, not willing to understand the personalistic aspect of the absolute truth. Krishna came into his life as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, went to his house, went into his life, heard him and gave him instruction and showed his form to him. I am determined to give you mercy. Try to stop me. Nobody can stop me. If Krishna desires, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has desired to give his mercy to everybody in Kali Yuga. If you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, with faith,